Today, the feast of the Assumption of the Blessed Mother is Mary's Easter Sunday. She was given the unique opportunity and privilege, and then honor because of it, to be the mother of God. And so it's logical, as St. Paul said in the second reading, Christ is risen from the dead. He is the first fruits, the first result of the resurrection. And then St. Paul says, and after him, everyone else in their proper order. Well, who comes next? His mother. Without Mary, there would be no Jesus. Without Jesus, there would be no salvation for us. It's that simple, really, that profound. And because of that, the church for 2,000 years can't say enough, can't do enough, can't sing enough of Mary. Our own parish is named after her. In every Catholic church, there is an image of Mary because of her central role. The book of Revelation in the first reading tells us in an allegorical sense what it was all about to begin with. A woman clothed with the sun, and over her head a crown of 12 stars. She was about ready to give birth to a child. The evil one sought to devour him as he came forth. And he was snatched away, and she went to heaven. And because she went to heaven, St. John, who wrote the book of Revelation, said, now, Christ is risen, ascended to the Father. Now his mother takes her place at his right hand. Now have salvation and power come, and the authority of our Christ has been established. Why? Because we believe that what happened to Mary wasn't just something nice or something, well, she was his son, so he should have taken care of her. Not on that sentimental at all level, but she represents you and me. We just finished the Olympics. Wasn't too well covered, but nevertheless, America did pretty good, and particularly among the women. And it's always something wonderful, no matter what's going wrong with our country, to see that the American flag, and now more and more of women are on that highest pedestal. And the national anthem is sung because of the achievements of all athletes, and particularly our American ladies. And we feel like we're being honored too. They did it for us and in our name. That's a very poor example of the fact that that's why we put Mary on a pedestal. And hopefully she occupies a special place in our lives, because what happened to her is promised to happen to us. What happened to her in her sorrows certainly happens to us in one way or the other. We all stand at the foot of the cross of people whom we love, and we feel very helpless to do anything about it, but we're there. Either at the moment of death or through sickness or troubles of any kind, especially in family life. We're there, and we stick through it. Mary did. Now, she takes her place in heaven, and we're told to understand and celebrate today that one of us has made it. At least one of us. Not Christ, Son of God, of course. risen from the dead. But she, who was a complete human being, a creature, God made her. But she made it. And because of that, when we honor her, we sort of look upon her as our sister. St. John Paul II, when he went to Lourdes, said that Our Lady has many titles. He said, but my favorite one is, she is my elder sister. He had an elder sister. She died while he was still young. But he said, what does an elder sister do? Takes you by the hand in a unique way, different than an older brother, but in a unique way, and says, come on, watch me, and I'm with you. Now I'm right next to you. And that, the Pope said, that's what Mary is. She's our eldest sister. She says to us, I've been there, I've done that, whatever it is that you and I are going through, in our travails and even in our joys. And she says to us, I've been there where you are, with my son especially, and in what happened to me, in what was going to be a very normal life. 2 young people falling in love, going to have kids, and my whole life was turned upside down. Not just because of a love of a man, but more importantly for the love of God, and the love that is God in Jesus. So when your world turns upside down, she says, you come to me. I've been there and I've done that. If you're suffering with someone or suffering yourself, she says through her pierced heart, I've been there and I've done that. Well, today, she says to us, I'm where I am. You can be there too. Because what happened to Mary, we believe, can happen to us. It doesn't happen automatically. We have to be faithful, not perfect, but faithful to being there for God in our prayer life, in our sacramental participation in church, and in the vocation that you and I have been given. Just like her. She went to the temple every week. She said her prayers. God nourished her. She needed nourishing. She was a creature. And she served others, as we saw in the gospel, the visitation. She immediately went to help an older cousin who was with child, John the Baptist, even though she herself had just found out that she was with child in a very unique and miraculous way. And on her way there, probably saying, what is all this about? So when you and I hear ourselves say, what is this all about? Whatever this is in our life, it's not just poetic to say that. It's gutsy, real life stuff. And we're going to someone who lived a real, gutsy, difficult life, and now has been crowned with eternal life and was the first fruit after the resurrection, the first result of Christ's resurrection, that she should take her place with him. And the story is not over. That is what you and I are promised. That's what you and I are told we are capable of. Why? Because, as St. Paul says, God shows no partiality. He would treat us the same way, wants to, as he does and did for his mother. Imagine, Jesus would take care of me into eternal life the same way his mother, because he shows no partiality. Everyone is near and dear to his sacred heart, and of course to her immaculate heart. So this year it happens to fall on a Sunday. Every year we have it as a holy day because we say it's Mary's Easter. And so we celebrate her Easter, anticipating ours, God willing, to be with both of them and many others because of the way in which we are trying to live our life. Difficult, sometimes stumbling, sometimes failing, often getting up. That's Mary's life, as recorded in the scriptures, and ours. So today is a celebration for her and about her, but for us and about us. This is not isn't this nice holy day that he did that for her? No. This is a holy day for us. This promises us on another level the promise of eternal life with God forever. May God bless you all.